universities. But the union told a Punch that government had only met one of its demands. ASU had on November 15 given the federal government a 3-week ultimatum over government's failure to meet its demands. The lecturers threatened to embark on another round of industrial action following the government's unfaithfulness in implementation of the memorandum of action it signed with the union, upon which last year's strike was suspended. After the union's National Executive Council meeting at the University of Abuja on November 13 and 14, ASU President Professor Emmanuel Oshodeke lamented that despite meeting with the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, on October 14, on issues including funding for revitalization of public universities and academic allowances, university transparency accountability solution, promotion arrears, renegotiation of the 2019 ASU federal government agreement, and the inconsistencies in integrated payroll and personnel information system payments. None of the demands had been met. Okay, so that is it. There is a sense that maybe there could be another strike action, but according to this report, it says that the federal government is trying as much as possible to avert this. Do you think that the federal government and ASU can reach another round of agreements? Do you think that the federal government can speed or race against time to meet the demands of ASU to prevent another strike? I'll leave that thought to you. All right, let's come to politics. APC clears Ekiti State local government poll. Why we boycotted? That's according to the PDP, and that story is on Vanguard newspaper. The All Progressives Congress has cleared Saturday's Ekiti State local government council polls, winning all the 35 council chairmanship seats and 176 out of the 177 councillorship seats declared. Justice Jide Aladejano, the chairman of the State Independent Electoral Commission, announced the results on Sunday in Ado-Ekiti. Aladejano said that the commission had postponed the councillorship election in Erigion ward following violence that broke out during the poll in the town. He appreciated security agencies and the staff of the commission as well as the electorate for participating in the poll and for their cooperation in the successful conduct of the election. But if you go down a little bit, you would see the news agency of Nigeria reports that the opposition People's Democratic Party boycotted the election, claiming that the APC-led administration in the state was incapable of organizing credible, free, and fair elections without violence. 6 other political parties, however, participated in the poll. Speaking on the election, Mr. Raphael Adeoju, the state PDP publicity secretary, described it as a sham. Adeoju said that the results of the election and the obvious low turnout of voters had confirmed fears by the party that the results had already been predetermined by the ruling APC ahead of the poll. You can read the rest of that story on Vanguard newspaper with the headline APC clears Ekiti State's local government poll, why we boycotted. And you can also join Joshua Digbite at 9 o'clock. That's this morning. There will be speaking to all the major stakeholders involved in this election, SIEC, the PDP, and also a representative of the APC. And you also have this 2023 presidency. Ayim consults Babangida Abdulsalami, says Nigerian presidency is not an entitlement. Former president of the Senate and one-time secretary to the federal government, Senator Ayim Pius Ayim, was received in a private audience by 2 of Nigerian leaders and patriots. Taking to his Facebook page, Ayim said, I met with former President Ibrahim Babangida and former head of state General Abdulsalami Abubakar. I consulted with them on my intention to contest for the presidency for our beloved countries. Both leaders are rich in vision and deep in the grasp of our history. They were generous with their wise counsels. I am further emboldened in the conviction that I can make significant contributions in our collective quest to consolidate democracy build a stronger and more united Nigeria. I feel very enriched and invigorated. Long live Nigeria. He also went ahead to say the Nigerian presidency is not an entitlement. So you could see a new name up in the twist of the entire discourse about who would likely emerge as Nigeria's president. And now you have Pius Ayim, putting himself up out there. I also have this story that will interest Nigerians on Nigerian Tribune. Experts knock FG on 7.2 million price tag on one-bedroom flats. Disturbed by the exorbitant prices of housing units launched by the federal government through the National Housing Program, real estate experts say the 7.2 million price tag on the one-bedroom flat under the scheme has dashed the hope of ownership among low-income Nigerians. They described the prices as the beginning of a full capitalist economy in the country, adding that low-income Nigerians would need 40,000 naira monthly repayment for the next 30 years to gain access to the one-bedroom apartment. Going by the high price tags, real estate experts pointed out that no civil servant or workers between grade level 1 and 10 under the national minimum wage of 30,000 naira could qualify for any of the housing units if they are to use 25% of their salary for monthly repayment for the next 30 years. The Nigerian Tribune gathered that the gross monthly salary of government workers within grade level 10 and 12 is between 100,000 and 120,000. Since these workers cannot spend more than 25% of their monthly income to service loans, experts said that most of them would not be able to afford the 40,000 naira monthly repayment for housing loans. Describing prices as outrageous, a former general manager with ASO Savings and Loans Limited, Mr. Fonohomi Idris, maintained that the hope of home ownership among many Nigerians has been dashed. What do you make of what the federal government is doing, putting a price tag of 7.2 million naira on one-bedroom flat? That means that people would have to pay 40,000 naira every month for the next 30 years to be able to have access to that one-bedroom apartment. That's according to the analysis on Nigerian Tribune. You could read the rest of what experts are saying on Nigerian Tribune with the headline, Experts knock FG on 7.2 million naira price tag on one-bedroom flats. Let's take this tragic story on the Nation newspaper. 8 kids found dead in vehicle. 8 children have been found dead in a Lexus sports utility vehicle parked in front of the owner's house at Adilayo Street, Aguaji, along Badagry Expressway, Lagos. The incident happened on Saturday. Police spokesman Adekunle Ajishebutu confirmed the incident. Quoting him now, he says the 8 children were said to have mistakenly locked themselves in an abandoned car while playing. Their bodies have been recovered and deposited at the Badagry General Hospital morgue for autopsy to determine the actual cause of death, he said. According to reports, the vehicle is owned by one Saliat Kazim. The vehicle reportedly has a child lock feature and could only be opened from outside. The children, who were between the ages of 4 and 6, were found dead by a parent who was looking for a child. Ajishebutu said the police commissioner Akim Odumosu has ordered the thorough and speedy investigation into the circumstances surrounding the children's death. A really sad one there. Alright, now we'll go on a quick break, and when I come back, I would open the phone lines, still take more stories, but also open the phone lines so that you can kick off your contributions early enough.
Shout for joy, it's Christmas again. New Dailies 92.7 FM is welcoming you to the season of love and giving. But first, we appreciate you for your support and collaboration during the last Christmas season. We say God bless you all. In line with our tradition, our studios are now open for recording of carols, lyrics, messages, and other soul-lifting programs. And guess what? The big day is just around the corner. On Wednesday, December 1st, 2021, Father Christmas will arrive from Rome with lots of gifts, freebies, and goodies. We are now calling on churches, schools, and parents to come register their children for this year's New Cruise Father Christmas Fiesta. Ticket is 1,000 naira per child. You can also invite us to cover your Christmas activities and transmit them live on our radio station 92.7 FM at New Cruise Christmas Fiesta. There will be variety of games, entertainment, and lots of fun. For inquiries, call 080-357-87484 or 080-307-85562. Christmas is not just a season, it's a feeling.
Still the dailies on New Cruise 92.7 FM. I have been taking a number of stories from the newspapers this morning. Well, you can join the review this morning by calling 0816-781-4132. 0816-781-4132. That's the number to call to join the review this morning. And if you're watching live on Facebook, you can also drop a comment. We're streaming live via New Cruise 97 FM on Facebook, so you can join, watch on Facebook and drop a comment or call the phone lines. Well, let's take this one. Supreme Court rules Tuesday on judiciary funding, Executive Order 10. The Supreme Court will on December 7 deliver judgments in the case filed by 36 state governments against the federal government over the dispute on funding of superior courts in the states and the legality of the Executive Order 10 issued by President Muhammadu Buhari. It was learnt on Sunday that parties have since been issued notices by the court's registry informing them about the planned judgment. The states filed the suit in the name of their attorneys general, with the Attorney General of the Federation, who is representing the federal government, listed as the sole defendant. On October 4 this year, a 7-member panel of the court led by Justice Musa Dattijo Muhammad had, after taking final submissions from lawyers to parties and the 5 Courier invited, announced that the judgment was reserved till a date to be communicated to the parties. You'll find the rest of that story on the Nation newspaper with the headline Supreme Court rules Tuesday on judiciary funding, Executive Order 10. Well, we have. Okay, it looks like we had someone on the line. Well, you can call back. The number to call is 0816-781-4132. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Mr. Oshegun.
It's Mr. Oshegun from Adokiti.
Go ahead, sir.
I just want to comment on local government elections in Nigeria, not only in the Ekiti state. You see, the local government election is more or less a selection. And that is why people have been calling on the INEC to take over the conduct of local government elections. This is not about APC or PDP alone. All over the nation, you will see that it is the ruling party that we corner all the positions in the local government. So thank you. Good morning. Have a blessed day.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Owoshegun. Well, you can call 0816-781-4132. That's the number to call to also share your thoughts on the review from the newspapers this morning. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, you could do well to call us back. The number again is 0816-781-4132.
good morning.
Morning. Good morning.
Yes, it's I on the line, sir.
All right, Ataya. Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, yes. Thank you very much. Just like Mr. Oshagun said, of course, for as long as we have the CX organizing the local government election, I don't know. So all the ruling party will always have their ways. So I don't know what the public secretary of PDP was saying about boycotting or no boycotting. But my own point this morning, like what I'm so concerned about is the issue of us again. I thought the Ministry of Finance was part of those that had the meeting with us. So I don't understand why he has to take the Ministry of Education writing letter to them to do the needful. For crying out loud, we're going to at the end of the year. Some people are preparing for the final exams in anticipation for service next year. They want to disrupt it again. What is going on with us? What is going on?
That's a source a subject for concern. Itayo, thank you for calling. But let's look at this one. Declaring bandits terrorists is waste of time. They are faceless. That's according to Buba Galadima, and that's on Vanguard newspaper. There's also the rider agitation for Igbo presidency. Agitation for Igbo presidency is agitation for Biafra, and you can't arrest Gumi without arresting those that went to demand for Nnamdi Kanu's release. Alhaji Buba Galadima, a former ally of President Muhammadu Buhari, has dismissed the branding of bandits as terrorists by the federal government, saying it shows they know who the bandits are all along. It went ahead to say he also dismissed the agitation for Igbo presidency and said it is not different from the agitation for Biafra. He also made a case for the unity of Nigeria, urging Nigerians to do away with ethno-religious divisions and join hands to build a united Nigeria. So you can check the rest of everything that Buba Galadima is saying on Vanguard newspaper, with the key point being declaring bandits terrorists is waste of time. They are faceless. Okay, you can still call 0816 781 4132. 0816 781 4132 to share your thoughts on what's we've taken from the newspapers this morning. Well, on Facebook, we have this Ewelu Giola Tara is saying that the 8 children who died inside a car parked outside the owner's house was a bad story. May their soul rest in peace. Amen. And then you have Prince Olubushe Tosin Oskopolo saying it is well with Nigeria. God bless you. And just one final story before we call it a wrap on the dailies this morning. Reps probe 9 billion naira COVID-19 fund paid into NCDC officials' accounts. That's on Punch newspaper. Let me quickly dive into some bits of the details of that story. I hope that's able to open up a lot quicker than expected. But okay, yes, you have this. Reps probe 9 billion naira COVID-19 fund paid into NCDC officials' account. The House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts is investigating the Nigerian Center for Disease Control for paying part of the 9 billion naira it received as special intervention fund from the federal government on COVID-19 into personal accounts of some members of its staff. The committee had on Friday grilled the Director General of the NCDC, Dr. Ifedayo Adetifa, over the center's spending. Aditfa told the committee that the federal government between March and December 2020 released to the NCDC 620 million naira, March 2020 to March 2021 paid 5 billion naira, and January 2021 to September 2021 paid 3.49 billion naira. Well, the headline of that story is Reps probe 9 billion naira COVID-19 fund paid into NCDC officials' accounts. You can check the details out on Punch newspaper this morning. Well, that's the beat that I can take from the newspapers this morning. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. Thanks to those who dropped comments on Facebook and also those who called. Join Joshua Adegbite at 9 o'clock for more on the post-election review of the Ekiti State Council polls that took place on Saturday. You have a representative of the PDP, the APC, and also SEC on ground to speak to us. Well, I have to go now. I'll leave you in the hands of Olaoluwa Adile, who will be bringing you details of happenings in the world of sports. Good morning.
This is New Cruise 92.7 FM.
On the air, everywhere. This is
Sport Cruise.
Sport Cruise
of the world. Are you ready? Wrestling fans, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance